summertime in the New York summertime. What? We're gonna talk about money today? What? You fanning yourself with some money, Lisa? I don't know. I went crazy with the bling today, and then I actually took this off my altar. I have all this money sitting on my altar. I'm going to talk about altars in a second. So, hey everybody, what's up? Happy Tuesday. I'm Lisa. These are Tuesday Thoughts. This is where I just talk about something. And nothing's really planned. I kind of wake up and I think, what do I want to talk about around money today? And a few things have come to me since this morning in my meditation. First of all, if you're here, just type in any icon that you want to share with me that represents what it might feel like to have money rolling in or to feel abundant. I see a few people here. I'd love to know who's here. Because I was, just fanning myself with a little bit of money. All right, good morning. Woof. Hey, everyone. I was looking for songs, and it was like all of it's the more money, more problems, and I was thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, but not a lot of money and some problems too. So is this like a no win-win thing? All right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired. I'm actually tired because I'm trying to make some money in my life. Oh, life is so funny. All right, so let's see. What do I want to talk about today? Money. So yeah, if you're here, just let me know. Say hi to me. Just say hi. Put a little hi with a wave. So I'm going to talk about first just a little bit about my journey. And, what does money mean? So money is this thing that we're all kind of working our asses off to get. And sometimes we forget that it is about the journey. And there was a time in my life I made some pretty big, bold moves, which I love and I don't regret. And they definitely put me in a situation where I had to step up into making some money and figure it out. So just quick background, because I can't go into my whole story here, but I was working corporate I moved to New York and I ended up in a corporate job. I was working, I was the 30th employee at WeightWatchers.com. For those of you who do not know, I'm also a graphic designer. I did a lot of branding, art directing, and I left there right before I was going to possibly be like senior art director. So that was 5 years in corporate, learning the ropes of a New York corporate environment. I left, there was 200 people, definitely an interesting experience, but I was making money. And I made enough money to buy this apartment here in New York City. But see, what happens is you leave your corporate job and you don't have that money coming in, and all of a sudden there's a different kind of pressure. I moved to Europe, I followed my heart, and that relationship happened. It was amazing. I learned so much. I actually started to really ramp up Metamorfize, or at least the idea of like, wait, we're not going back to New York and working corporate again. So what are we going to do? So I actually interviewed there for some jobs. But anyway, long story short, moved back, started Metamorfize, which was at that time a graphic design company doing graphic design and branding and trying to figure it out with a mortgage. So to say the least, some debt happened. Okay. Now this live is about money. So I want to talk to you about how I got myself out of debt using the mind mastery techniques that I teach, really just staying focused. I'm going to hold this money today as like but this is actually what it was about is, where your energy goes, your life flows. And I'm not gonna lie, like there was panic and breakdown, and there was so many moments that I was like, I don't know if I can get myself out of this. If you're just joining me, I'm talking about debt. And what happened was I made a decision, and it was a really big, bold one. And it's gonna sound crazy, but in a lot of ways, it's exactly the thing that helps you get out of debt sometimes, is actually by spending money. It's about having a smart investment that then helps you quickly get more money in. So there was a few things that I did, and one was I invested in a really high level coach at the time, a few of them. And I remember almost choking spending $6,000 at a time when $6,000 if I had told that to anyone, they would have been like, you are crazy. But it was the only way out. I needed to learn something, tools to help me get out of the debt. So long story short, I keep saying that because this is a long story. I invested in myself. And when you invest in yourself and you say, you know what? I'm in. I'm all in. I'm worth it. I'm going to rise up into this investment. I'm going to put it all out on the table, and I'm going to believe in myself, and I know that I can get out of this because here we go. Chips all in. And at the time, it was really scary, and it came with a lot of panic and emotions. And I always say that, the whole journey here has been getting to know myself. And that time of debt was really disciplined time. I mean, I was waking up. Here you go. Here was the practice. I was waking up, and I had such a serious morning practice going that was getting my mind attuned. I mean, I was on it. I remember the chair I had right here, and I was pumping my brain with a mantra that I just created, that I like picked from all the different places that I love, like listening to Bob Proctor. And I ended up doing the 40-day prosperity challenge, which I'm going to put all these resources in the link here. I mean, in the thing below. But I just kept repeating, money comes easily and frequently into my life. Like, I know it's crazy, but I just kept repeating it over and over. Money comes easily and frequently. No, my life is abundant and prosperous. That's how it started. My life is abundant and prosperous. Money comes easily and frequently into my life in large amounts from unexpected sources. And at the time, I was also wanting to embrace my body and love it. So I was adding things on. By the time I was done, this mantra was just like this thing I would just turn to if I found myself going to panic or like any sort of overwhelm or freak out. Boom, money. My life is abundant and prosperous. Money comes easily and frequently into my life. I love my life. It comes in unexpected sources in large amounts. Boom, repeat, 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 repeat. Because, we've been talking, I talk about this all the time here, is your neural pathways. You have to rewire it. And if I keep on going into, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Oh my God, 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 oh my God. And like, that's the record that's going to start playing. So I had to counter it. So I kind of created the Monetize Your Mornings bundle that I offer, which is also monetizeyourmornings.com. I'll also put that here, which took what I was doing. And first of all, I did a lot of work around my money story. What was my money story? Why was it not breaking? Like, I had to understand why I was repeating the same things. And, you just look to your past. What is this things that you saw growing up, heard growing up, experienced growing up? How did that then create how you view money? And you'll see this this week I posted in this group for everybody to start to think about, what are your thoughts around rich people? What are your thoughts around people who have money? Because you know what? We run this really subtle track underneath that has these kind of judgments around people who have money, but yet here we are wanting that. So the disconnect is, we're not going to fully allow ourselves to have the thing that we want when we're judging it. So it's kind of like you got to clear the pathway a little bit there and really get clear with yourself that being someone who has money and being someone who's abundant is okay. It's safe. You know how to manage your money, that it is safe, that if you have a lot of money, you're going to be responsible with it. Because a lot of the time, if we're in debt or we don't know how to manage money, we actually sabotage ourselves from having it because we actually don't trust ourselves that we know how to manage it and keep it. And you know what? The hardest part, I think, now that I have money coming in, is maintaining it. Just like if you lose weight, it's maintaining the weight loss. Because that's where the consistency comes in. That's where it becomes not just something you're doing temporary, but it's become a habit. It's become a way of life. It's a lifestyle. while I was talking, I just had like a million things I wanted to say. Oh, two things. I said it actually, weirdly enough, in I think the health live, which is remove certain words from your life. If you are trying to make more money and have more money in your life, and you are someone who is in debt, and remove the word debt, remove the word broke, remove the sentence of I can't afford it. Replace it with I choose not to invest in this right now. Replace it with I have spent money and I'm paying it back. Like, instead of the word debt, you can always find a way, because each of these words has energy behind it. It has a frequency. So, I mean, B word, nobody's broke. I mean, okay, fine. There are people who are broke, but we all have choices, which leads me to a manifesting hack. Okay, so there's a little trickle of inspiration that happened. So I put out 20 manifesting hacks as a countdown to 2020. One of them was I am a money magnet. So while I was doing all of this, if you're here, say hi. I'd love to see who's here. Maybe you did this weird new Facebook. I just can't see people. It's so freaking annoying. Anyway, I did those hacks, and one of them was when you're walking down the street and you see a penny or a quarter, you begin to train yourself. I'm a money magnet. You don't have to pick it up. I mean, you can pick it up if you want to, but the idea is that money, you and money are going to now develop a relationship. So, and that relationship is it's attracted to you. Look, it's right there. Like, it doesn't have to be $100 bill for you to feel attracted to money and for you to start to notice it, where you're attuning yourself to. So I did that in December, and someone recently last week wrote to me and told me that they are still using that hack and that it's changed the way that their relationship with money is. And then shared that she put together an altar. So one of the things that I was inspired to do this week with all of you is, number one, share that money hack so that you can remember to always see money and say, I'm a money magnet. But also, do you have an altar? If you really want to, it's kind of like the vision board for money. It's a moment where that's where these came from. By the way, these are fake. You don't have to have real money. This is fake money. And actually, I had so much more of it, but I've been giving it away, which has been also a practice for me to like take chunks of it and say, here, you manifest now. So I'm going to take a picture of my altar later this week when I post like the money altar thing. And I'm going to encourage everyone to start to put items on this altar that are what you want to be inspired by, what you want to make more of. So yeah, I have a big wad of cash on there because I want to make some serious money. I'm building my business. I want to move into a beach house. I have aspirations. I have dreams. I want to next level my life too. And thank you, each of you, for being here as a part of my journey to next level my life. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. And I just continue to learn. I've got things. I do have a Buddha that I brought back all the way from Thailand that was really symbolic for me at the time. It represents travel. I'm going to show it to you guys later. I'm going to take a photo, and we're going to do some altars this week, because just focusing just a little attention on the visual aspect and having something. I have a Lakshmi, which is the Indian abundance goddess, and so we're going to do some altar. And I mentioned the 40 days of prosperity, and 40 days because, anything, repetition is everything. I am going to be pumping this group with that concept of repetition, because the science behind the neural pathways is basically where you fire, you wire. And if you're not using that thought, it's going to atrophy. So what we want to do is you want to focus on where you're going, not what you need to let go of. And sometimes you do need to look at the past. Like if you go to the monetizeyourmornings.com and you get this, what's your money story? Yes, you look back and you look at where something came from. But there's a point in all of our journeys where you have to recognize that looking back is also a little bit of an addiction. And it's one of the little ways that we actually stay stuck. And I'm doing this with my hands because this is how we loop. We loop an old pattern. And they're so tricky. Your mind is so smart. It's tricky. It knows actually how to go underneath and around and how to actually even fool you. And that's the key, is that getting in touch with how you operate, your own ways of sabotage and resistance. Oh, thanks for doing the poll, everyone. So we're going to be doing Mastering Resistance next week, which is going to be all about these little nuances of how you sabotage yourself, because resistance is actually the edge of change. Lisa, focus, money. So it's going to come up. Great video and hacks. Thanks. I hear your passion. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Hi, Greek. Great idea. Yeah, I'd love to hear how all of you work through your money abundance rituals. Like, what does it look like for you to make more money? And how do you really, I'm talking about the mantra that I do, and I'm talking about repetition, morning routine. I mean, really programming your mind in the morning. So, a lot of my work was born out of studying what successful people were doing, because as I mentioned, I left Europe and I had to start a business. I had a mortgage and debt was accumulating. And I was like, oh shit, what are other people doing? Like, let me go study the greats, like some of the people that are really, really making a lot of money. And the science of change, my whole process was born out of studying what people were doing. And I realized all of the people that were cracking the code understood, first of all, the importance of morning, like how you start your day is definitely important. And they also were in touch with the fact that their thoughts were creating their reality. I mean, Tony Robbins talks about it. Jack Canfield, he's a huge one that he has a book called The Success Principles. I love that book. I love it because I'm an athlete, and he quotes so many athletes. And athletes, what are they? They're high performers. They have to face resistance and face the moments of change and edges of change all the time. They have to push themselves past the point at which they would have stopped and see what they're capable of. And sometimes making money, breaking your own ceiling of money, means you have to push past the part in which you thought you couldn't do. And that's exactly what I was saying, circling back to, I invested $6,000 in myself when I was in the most debt I have ever had. And that's when you make this declaration in your life and you go, there is no other option but success. And here we go. Because also another concept I talk about all the time is that indecision and limbo is where the suffering lies. Just making a decision, any decision forward, and going all in with it will ripple out to the universe that you are in motion towards something. And I am literally inside of this most uncomfortable thing right now in my own life, where I know I want to move. I don't know where I want to move to. And it's been driving me insane that I feel like I have to know. So I've pulled back all the way, and instead of needing to know where I'm going or what's next, I started packing. And I know that just the act of packing is telling whatever needs to be told that something is about to happen, that I'm going to be in motion. So we're about to hit the 19-minute mark, and I want to keep this under the 20s. I keep saying that. I guess I'm just a jabberjaw. All right, so I'm just going to recap real quick, and then we're going to pick our tarot card all around money and abundance. And while I recap, I'm going to shuffle. All right, so we talked a little bit about money stories. So getting in touch with what you heard, what you saw, and what you experienced growing up are going to help you see possibly why you do what you do, the thoughts around money that you have. Then we talked about eliminating the D word of debt, broke, replacing things with I choose not to invest in that right now, instead of I can't afford it. We talked, I didn't talk about this, but pay attention to people you're hanging out with. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And what that means is listen to what are they like. You want to make more money? Hang out with people who have the kind of money that you have or are a few steps ahead from you. And listen to them and watch how they maneuver. Oh, saving. I started to put aside $20, even when I didn't think I had it, into a savings account. Small accumulation starts to teach you that incremental growth. It's one thought at a time, one breath at a time, one step at a time. It's also one penny at a time. That's why when you see the penny, you honor it. It's not gonna, oh, I'm out of debt because I see a penny. No, honor, that is money. And one penny times 100, 1,000, that's starting to accumulate. So you want to honor the accumulation, and to do that, you can put a little aside, just automatic savings. That's what I did. I was like, I want savings. I need savings. Savings is good. Savings is what wealthy people have. Acquiring. You acquire your story. You're not born with it, which means you can unacquire, if that's a word. You can redo it. You can decide to have a different relationship with money. 40-day prosperity plan. I'll be putting that link in there. It's basically you honoring money every day for 40 days. You wake up, you say a sentence, you repeat it as many times. It's that repetition piece. Studying successful people. Go observe, pay attention. What are they doing? Do they have portfolios? Watch how, oh, I got a gold wallet. Oh, and just like symbolism, make everything have a meaning. I got a gold wallet. Actually, not supposed to, but red could be a great color, but I wanted the bling bling, so I got it. My morning mantra I'm going to put in there, savings, and my money manifesting hack. Yeah, so those are the things I wanted to cover. I hope that I'm talking fast because I have had 2 cups of coffee. Also because I just wanted to get that all in, and I hope something in here was a nugget of inspiration. I'm really excited to work on altars this week and just, really focus on making more money. Here we go. This is the card for everybody in this group on, what insight do we need for making more money in our life, for having an abundance mindset. So it's more about the mindset. Like, yes, I can. Yes, I will. It's on its way. Of course it's happening. Of course. Of course. All right. So here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna count up to 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is my number. Boom, right there. Bam. Oh, sniggity snap, everybody. Letting go. Look at this card. All right, letting go. First of all, this is a water card, which has to do with the emotions, but so awesome. First, we could trace this back to the money stories, in the sense that maybe you adopted a money story that just isn't yours. Things like you might have heard growing up, like I was mentioning, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. We have to save or use your hand-me-downs, that type of stuff that you just heard that you don't even realize. But what's so beautiful is that this one little drop, kind of like the penny, it drops and it enters the big vastness of the water below it. And okay, so that's a lotus leaf, and it says it's in the early morning, which also is something we've talked about today with the morning mantras. And you can see that one drop is already entered, and so there's that rippling effect. So it says, it is a precious moment and one that is full of poignancy. In surrendering to gravity and slipping off the leaf, the drop loses its previous identity and joins the vastness of the water below. I freaking love that, because mind mastery and evolution and change is about allowing yourself to lose a previous identity, like maybe your previous identity of not ever being able to make more than $5,000 a month, maybe your previous identity of you just struggle with making money every single month. Like, then, hey, guess what? You get to have a new identity. And we can imagine that it must have, so we can imagine that it must have trembled before it fell, just on the edge between the known and the unknowable. To choose this card is a recognition that something is finished, something is completing, whatever it is, a job, a relationship, an identity, a home you have loved, anything that you might have helped define who you are. It is time to let go of it, allowing any emotion, sadness, or anything that you want to try to hold on to. Something greater is waiting for you. New dimensions are there to be discovered. You are past the point of no return now, and gravity is doing the work. Go with it. This represents liberation. And I'm going to leave you with one last thought. I love this old identity, new identity. And I'm so excited for each of you to allow yourself to let go of old identities. You don't have to be anything that you thought. You can change your mind at any time. I'll tell you the change your mind story another time. And I was going to say, shoot. Oh well, forgot. Letting go, changing your mind, abundance. You can be anything you want. Oh, it was good. I was going to say one last thing. Wait, liberation. You're past the point of no return. Oh, quantum field. That's what I was going to say. I have been really, really into this concept, and I feel it because of what I shared. Like, I don't know where to move right now. It's all right here. Every single thing it's here. It's almost like the Matrix, right? But we have to attune our two-dimensional being eyes to it. So the money that you want is right here. That's why we do in the breathing, stop, drop, and breathe. I always have you just grab it and pull it in because it's always within arm's reach. So here we go. Pull it in. Have an amazing, abundant, prosperous week. I love you. I believe in you. You can do it. If you say you can, you can. And I will see you on this board making a lot of money. Reach out if you have any questions. One love.